Okay, are we live? I believe we're live. All right. Sorry, I'm doing new stuff. Anyway, good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. Am I picking up audio on both of these? Yes, I am. Okay. Anyway, the sources of this information come from the Smart Device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and this website on thisday.com. For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. And all links gathered throughout the show will appear after the live stream, of course. Anyway, I am Aozander, and I will be joined by the Golden Loon here sooner or later. And of course, you viewer are you. Today is Sun's Day, aka Sunday, November 19th, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 461, Saint Hilary began his reign as Catholic Pope. Okay, another Pope Day. 1274, Mongol army landed at Hakata Bay in Japan during their first invasion attempt and were defeated. A typhoon destroyed most of their fleet as they withdrew. So not only were they defeated by humans, but they were defeated by nature herself. So it's a double kick in the butt. Do you want me to repeat what I just read? Welcome to the show, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I would like, unless, you've done quite a bit.
No, I'm literally just on the second article.
Okay.
So it just started. 1274, Mongol army landed at Hakata Bay in Japan during their first invasion attempt and were defeated. And then a typhoon destroyed most of their fleet as they withdrew.
Ah, wow.
So they got double hit. Like...
Someone's talking to me. We hit a typhoon as we tried to leave.
Yeah, don't mess with Japan, Like, leave that to us.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I mean, a small no-name Austrian painter was rejected, to get into an art school. One thing led to another, and then the United States dropped two sons on the sovereign nation of Japan.
Yeah. One thing led to another.
What? How? I did a whole seminar, and little did he know. Anyway... Moving on up to 1581, Tsarevich Ivan Ivanovich died after being attacked by his father, Ivan the Terrible, 3 days earlier.
Yeah.
So Ivan the Terrible attacked his own son, and which led to his death.
Yeah. Nice guy. Hence the name.
Yeah. Yeah, then we also have Vlad the Impaler.
Who?
Vlad the Impaler.
Never heard that.
You never heard about Vlad the Impaler?
No.
He impaled people.
Well, I figured that. That part I got.
Anyway, moving on up to 1620, the Mayflower reached Cape Cod and explored the coast.
Yeah, what year was that again?
1620.
1620,
yeah. Mayflower. Which there's a lot of, people thought that, the Pilgrims and such were coming over here to flee religious persecution, when, in fact, it was actually the Pilgrims who were doing the persecuting. They just didn't want to live with people they found as heathen. There's a whole backstory, because they ended up, they went to the Netherlands at first. They were trying to mingle with the Dutch, and then things weren't working out, so then they eventually just said, screw it, we're going to go to a whole new land and start completely fresh. But it wasn't like they were always, under the knife. They were doing their fair share of pushback.
They were a lot of it, they were the aggressors, is what you're saying.
Not a lot of it, but they weren't innocent by any means.
Okay.
Well,
so it's never a one-sided deal, 100%.
Yeah, I know.
It's always something going on.
Yep. Anyway, 1794, the Jay Treaty, the first U.S. extradition treaty, was signed with Great Britain.
Jay Treaty.
The Jay Treaty.
So who was that signed between the who and who?
U.S. and Great Britain.
U.S. Okay.
So extradition treaty, Jay Treaty. Let's open this up. John Jay's treaty right here. Oh, John Jay, Jingleheimer Smith. Hey, that's my name too. But it says the Treaty of Amity, Commerce, and Navigation between HMS Britannic Majesty and the United States of America, commonly known as the Jay Treaty, and also known as Jay's Treaty, was a treaty about yada yada. Yeah. So let me add these in the underbar section to add post-show real quick. So already collecting some links. That's good. That's the wrong button. My mouse pad is being wonky. There we go. All right. Get rid of that. Let's move on up. 1805. Lewis and Clark expedition, led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, reached the Pacific Ocean, the first European Americans to cross the West.
Okay,
Now,
1794 is the date?
1805.
Oh, 1805. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
1794 was the trade treaty.
Yeah.
This was 1805, and we had a whole conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
When? No, like where did they? So, where was Lewis and Clark when they reached the Pacific? The mouth of the Columbia River.
Columbia River is. Where's the Columbia River?
Columbia River.
It is pretty far north, I believe.
Columbia River. Well, that's where is it? Pacific Northwest region of Rocky Mountains of British Columbia, Canada.
Whoa.
So they were not even in the States.
They were way up there.
So we were both wrong. You were way too south. I was still south. I thought they were like up in Oregon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was down in Northern California.
Yeah. By
the Donner Pass.
Yeah, you and the Donner Pass.
Well, I thought that's what they took.
Did Lewis and Clark?
No, not up that high.
Take the Donner Pass. Well, they could have like
Nah, I don't think so. Come out
the Lewis and Clark expedition and the Donner Party. The Donner Party and Lewis both had blocks in their journey, and the Donner Party failed towards the end of their journey. There we go. Okay, what the hell is this? Okay, it's a whole video, so I'll just add this in the underbar if anybody want to watch that.
I would have liked to seen a, on a map, just a line of where they took, what route they took to see the Pacific Ocean.
Well, I can look that up. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, they're way high. They're nowhere near the Donner Pass. Look how high up they went.
Oh yeah, they started there. They did go,
wow,
but like,
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that was all Mexico.
Not that far east.
Well, not that. Mexico had Texas.
Yeah.
So.
I know that, but I mean, they went way. It didn't go up that high. Anyway.
Well.
They probably are more exploratory of what has been explored. They were going after.
Yeah. No, like they didn't know they were north, south, whatever. They were just going. They just happened to go that way.
Farther south was probably well explored, so they wanted to do.
Probably, not sure.
Not either. I'm just speculating.
But anyway, let's move on up here.
Yeah.
1824, storm caused flooding in St. Petersburg, killing 10,000.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot. Now this, it's an interesting thing because yesterday, while Alice and I were doing the research and writing, for the script, I laid down another rule. Like, because she being Lady Death, she wants to cover, like, every time there's an earthquake or a mudslide or a typhoon, or, like, whenever there's, like, death.
Okay.
Like, even if it's only, like, 3 people who got blown up in a suicide attack or whatever. Like, wow, that's probably a censored word on YouTube. I'm not sure. But...
Anyways,
it
doesn't have much
I put a limit. It has to be bare minimum 1,000 people. Or something crazy.
Yeah.
It's like anything less, it's not worth your time because we can't cover every last plane crash and everything because that'll be half the show.
Yeah,
so
well, let's continue with the show.
Yeah. Anyway, 1861, the first petroleum shipment, 1,329 barrels from the U.S. to Europe, left Philadelphia, U.S. for London, England, on the Elizabeth Watts. So our first petroleum, sending it out. So isn't that something? We are self-sufficient and we're supplying.
Yeah. We could be doing that today.
We could.
Especially with gas.
Well, we were, until
gas.
Neville Chamberlain took office. So.
It's not funny. Why am I laughing?
It's as a historian, it's funny, but living through it, it's not.
No.
Like the whole aspect of laughing about it later.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't believe we lived through that, or they lived through that. Like. Anyway, 1863. The U.S. President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, beginning 67 years ago.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, what is nobody? Well, not nobody, but do you know what 70 means?
I do, but I've forgotten. It's like 70-some years, right?
Score is 10, so
10,
47.
I mean 40 something. Yeah. So I got the 7 in it. Yeah, so I was right. 10
so 47.
Scores.
47 years ago, no, it would still be 1800. So hold on a second. What is a score? Let's see here. What is a score? 4 score. Images. A new nation of 4 score. Okay, since score means 20.
20.
So it's
80s.
So you were
87
closer.
years.
So it's 87 years.
Yeah, I
Not
couldn't quite
47.
remember what it was.
It's
Yeah.
80s, because that would make more sense.
Yeah.
So 87 years, 1863. Let's do some quick math here. 1863 minus 87 equals 1776. Look at that.
Hey. Oh, of course we should have known that. Of course, that would be the day.
Well, he could have been talking about, like, you know, well, he said, like, our forefathers, blah, 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 so, you know, but it would be a lot more than 4 Anyway, moving on up, 1869, the Hudson Bay Company signed a deed of transfer of Prince Rupert's land, 3.9 million square kilometers, to the British Crown, who then ceded it to Canada for £300,000, or $1.5 million, effective in 1870. Hot potato.
Yeah.
1872, E.D. Barber of Boston was awarded the first U.S. patent for the first calculator. Hey, we just used one. We just used one.
Yeah.
Like, an adding machine capable of printing totals and subtotals. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We
The
literally just
abacus
used
is
the
still around, though.
What?
The abacus is still around.
Yeah, and we might be using that again if everything goes the way things are going. 1873, James Reed and 2 accomplices robbed the Watt Grayson family of $30,000 in the Choctaw Nation. So, like, I think they're robbing, I don't even know who, because Watt Grayson, that doesn't sound Native American. James Reed doesn't sound, so I guess non-natives on native land robbing each other?
I don't know.
Geez, we're providing a really good, image of our people, know? After we took their land?
Yeah, after we took it.
God. 1873, William Meager Tweed, a.k.a. Boss Tweed, of Tammany Hall, New York City, was convicted of defrauding the city of $6 million, sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. Why don't we have that anymore? Arresting these horrible people, destroying the cities,
Well, we've become a lot more tolerant about everything.
Yeah, well, this is what happens, with tolerance. This is what happens with acceptance, I'm not saying that, we need to, not accept and not tolerate anything, but there needs to be a line in the sand.
Well, there's got to be somewhere between what the Pilgrims required and today,
Yeah.
what we're allowing today.
Well, not just what the Pilgrims required, what this nation was founded on as a principle and the idea behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, 1879, National Association of Trotting Horse Breeders determines what is a trotter.
Yes, the way they
What is
run.
a trotter?
It's their steps, their whatever it's called.
That
something.
is okay. Well, apparently a trotter are pig feet.
Oh, I thought we were talking about racing.
Well, I thought too, but no, hold on a second. What was this?
They can't break the trot. It's
horse.
not a full run. It's a trot.
Okay, standard braid. What makes horse a trotter? A trotter's front and back legs move forwards on alternate sides, top, while the pacer's front and back legs move forwards on the same side, bottom. So, like...
It has to be a certain stride.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
They do it a little cart behind them.
Huh. Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Huh.
They don't ride them.
That is interesting. I've seen that. I didn't even know any of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, 1893, the first newspaper color supplement, New York World. So, first color on newspapers, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1894, first mushroom on a stamp, China 1 and 5 AP. I don't know what the heck that second part means, but, is this first, depiction of a mushroom on a stamp? What is a mushroom on a stamp?
I don't know.
What is a
It's got to be some kind of
on a stamp?
signet, involved.
Mushroom stamp. Oh, okay. Plural mushroom stamps. A mark left by slapping a person's... What? Oh, God. That can't be right.
Read it again.
I'm not going to finish that.
Oh, okay. I can't see
A mark left by slapping a person with one's ding-a-ling.
Man.
What the
Is that
hell?
What it says? Holy crap.
But that's on Wikipedia. That's not...
Wow.
What the hell?
You posted that.
Xander, what did I
Oh my
stumble
God.
into?
Yeah, hey Alice, welcome to the show. How you doing?
How you doing?
I enter in and I'm looking at you looking up the word mushroom stamp. I go, what the F is wrong with you?
Yeah. Apparently you knew what it meant. We were naivete.
First...
Oh my God, I wish I had joined like 2 minutes earlier. I was told not to look that up.
Fungi
and I tell
on
you
stand-
off.
Well, I had no idea. I had no idea. Now I'm probably going to get in trouble. Whoops.
Oh my God, Xander.
I had no
I went
idea.
south so fast.
Well, did you know what it meant?
No!
So neither of
I
us.
can't read on my glasses.
I
I couldn't
did.
even read it.
No, did you know the saying?
No.
So
I wish I
neither,
joined, like-
Alice, neither of us knew the saying. Okay, so
Oh, I wish I had joined like 2 minutes ago. I was like just writing my numbers out for work,
oh
and
my God.
if I had joined just 2 minutes prior, we could have avoided the situation.
Well, you know, this
should
just
move on
adds
quickly.
This adds to the comedy.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on up to 1895. And Alice, if you want to
Oh,
read any, I
God.
know you're at work, but like, you know, I don't want to impede
I
your
see
work.
1911 right now.
Hold on, we're in 1895. Where'd it go? 1895. This one? Oh yeah, here we go.
The American inventor Frederick E. Blasdell patents the pencil.
Hey, I have a few of those. I have a pencil right here. And I'm not sure if my background will kind of cut up, but I can do the trick where it looks like it's rubber.
Yeah. Turned it to rubber.
But
Yeah.
was it a number? But was it the number 2 pencil?
You need to hold it in the middle?
Yeah, then it'll wave way easier.
No, it's
I guess.
no. You want
I've always
one edge to be the fulcrum.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've
So-
always done it in the middle.
Anyway, what do we got here in 1911? Where'd it go? This one. Here we go.
You're gonna have to read that. I'll be right back.
Okay. 1911, New York received the first Marconi wireless transmission from Italy.
Ooh.
Wow. 19 wireless.
1911.
Marconi.
Realize that was 1 year before my father was born.
That was 1 year before Nana was born too.
Yeah, same year.
And that was also 1 year before the Titanic sank.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
And 3 years before the outbreak of World War One.
you're right.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
if
there's a lot there. I guess we can
Yeah.
keep saying forever.
yeah. Well, you know, as a historian, you could just start rattling off things.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody wants to know more about Guglielmo Marconi, I have his Wikipedia, you know, going to be in the under our description post live stream. Anyway, moving on up to 1916, Samuel Goldfish, Edgar and Archibald Selwyn established Hollywood's Goldwyn Pictures. Goldfish later changed his name to Goldwyn, the predecessor to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM.
Yeah.
Which has a casino and hotel in Las Vegas, the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
Which back in the 90s, the entrance used to be you go through a giant, lion mouth.
Lion's head.
Through
the mouth.
Through the mouth. But they changed it because a lot of Chinese
Asian culture.
Asian culture viewed that as bad luck.
Yeah.
So why would you go into a casino with bad luck on your shoulder?
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
No, I mean, you already do, but because everything's, the house always wins, like
It's definitely stacked against you, but everyone goes in and thinks they're going to be the one to beat the odds.
See, everybody goes to Vegas because of the glitz and glamour, and you can gamble, you can make money. Well, why do you think all that glitz and glamour and all of that immaculate opulence is all over the place? Because it's all the tourists losing money in the casinos.
Of course. It didn't get built on good looks. It got built on your money.
Yeah. No. This is why I don't gamble.
Well, it's called gambling. If you stay there too long, you'll definitely lose. If you can hit a hot streak before you lose and walk, and then you walk quickly.
Actually, not necessarily. There is I remember a story a while ago about this team of college students, specializing in mathematics or whatever.
Yeah.
And they actually
on that.
they stayed in a hotel for a year, and then they played the system, and they figured out
they counted cards.
well, no, it wasn't just cards. They figured out slot machine, the mathematical equation, numerics, possibility, chances. If you do this, you have a chance to do that. So they actually got down to the statistics of probabilities, and they 7 times out of 10 they won, just out of probabilities.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it's wild.
Well, the one I'm referring to was all about counting cards for.
Well, they counted cards too.
Yeah.
They did everything.
But it was a whole system. They teamed up and did a whole system. But they didn't stay in a hotel for a year. They went back and forth. They went in like tourists go in.
Well, it might have been two different
away
stories.
with
It might have been the same story,
Yeah.
but it's happened at least once.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Anyway, moving on up to 1919, U.S. Senate rejected the Treaty of Versailles by a vote of 55 to 39. Congress 2 years later approved the resolution ending hostilities with Germany and Austria-Hungary. So we rejected the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. So the war was over.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
It had already been the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. So 11 in the morning on the 11th of November in 1918. Yeah, 1918, I believe, is when World War I ended. World War I ended. World War I ended. Yeah, 1918.
Yeah.
So this was already 1 year and change after, and we rejected it in 2 more years. So, but the war is over, but we still had on paper hostilities with Germany and Austria-Hungary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the world hammered Germany afterwards, and maybe justifiably so. I
Politically,
can't determine that, but
the war was over, but we were still with hostilities technically on paper, even though we were working.
World War II is basically the extension of unresolved stuff.
World War II. Yeah, World War II didn't officially end for years after 1945. It was just years of ceasefire before treaties were actually signed and it was officially over. I don't think that happened until the 50s.
The final treaty was with us and Japan in November 1945. I'm pretty sure.
That was when they surrendered, but there was still a ceasefire when.
Hold on. World War II ended
with Japan.
September.
Oh, September. Okay.
So it was between us both.
Yeah.
You're always on one side. You're always on one side. I'm always on the other, and the answer is always in the middle.
Listen, I'm closer, and here's
why. The fighting stopped in 45.
November, September. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
I'm closer because the date is closer.
July says nothing. It's just
said August.
Oh.
I didn't even say July.
Hang on, boys.
I wish you get back to February.
Boys.
Oh my God.
However, the fighting stopped in September of 1945. However, the full war didn't actually officially end until the 1950s.
Well, I don't know. How can you say that?
The World War
because that's
when surrendered or signed a deal. Because I thought Japan.
World War II was ended and it bled into the Cold War, which we're kind of still. So if you think about it, we're still fighting the First World War.
No, well, there were certain things that still weren't signed. So there was a ceasefire in 45, but there was still continual World War II efforts. Just no loss of life or people fighting. There are people out there, but that didn't end until in the early 50s.
So you're saying it's like North and South Korea are still at war. They just have a peace treaty.
Yep.
They don't have a peace treaty. They have a ceasefire.
That's what I meant to say.
You can't be at war and have a peace treaty.
No,
That doesn't make
sense.
sense.
So they're still at war, but they have a ceasefire.
Yeah.
Essentially that. So there was a ceasefire in September 45. However, the official ending didn't happen until 53 or something like that, I believe. But there was no fighting or anything like that going on during that. But
They were okay. Korea was founded as a nation after World War II because it was part of Japan. Japan ceded it. They became Korea. Then Kim Il Sung, who was fighting with I think Mao Zedong. He was one of Mao Zedong's people. Founded North Korea. And there was tensions, and then the U.S. got involved prior to the actual, or just around the creation of the UN, because the UN was created. The UN was created after World War II.
Yes.
Because the UN was the successor towards the League of Nations. But then everything went to hell in '53 when North Korea invaded. And almost took over the whole thing. Then NATO came in. No, the United Nations came in and pushed it all the way back. And then China came in and then put it right back to the parallel. And then there was a ceasefire. It has been that way ever since.
Yeah. Well, getting back to what Alice said on World War II. See, I have a misunderstanding here. Then it was my understanding European. The axis of evil in Europe had already surrendered. Japan was the last one to surrender.
Yes, they were.
Sign a document.
Yeah, Italy surrendered first, and then switched sides. Then Germany surrendered after Russia just curb stomped them because of Barbarossa. And then Japan surrendered not because of the bombs, but because of Russia.
Well, the bombs and Russia.
Well, the bombs, yeah, but like
they didn't want to get. They would rather have surrendered to us.
Yes.
Than have Russia keep coming in and annihilate it.
And even after that, there was still like a week or two, like not a week or two, 2 or 3 weeks, where Russia was still, even after the war was over, they were still pushing into like northern China and everything, trying to grab as much land as they could before they'd get called out on it. So
I'm assuming it had everything to do with just bureaucratic semantics. Why?
Yes,
it was like
politics got into war, as it always does.
There were some people living, Japanese living up in the caves in the Philippines and everything.
All the way up into the 70s.
Yeah, it came out and they never knew the war was over.
Well, there's one
guy.
They
were still fighting.
There was one guy, like the last guy left. Like he was the only one. Like everybody else had like died one way or another.
Yeah.
They were surviving off of raiding the local villages. And he said he wouldn't surrender until his CEO gave him the order to surrender. And thankfully, his CEO was still alive, and they actually brought him in, and he got him to stand down.
Oh.
So
you won't know more than I do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, move on. Moving on up to 1923. Alice, do you want to take this one? Where is it? This one here.
1923, we got the Oklahoma State Senate oust Governor Walton for anti-Ku Klux Klan measures.
Yeah, let's not say the whole name, please, Alice. Remember tact. Remember tact, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So anti-Klan measures. But that's weird. They ousted him for being anti-Klan. So that's...
Yeah,
Oklahoma, though. Like that's
but
that's
yeah,
like
he
the
was
Midwest,
outed.
or like that's the Tornado Alley, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma,
Very
just
much
north
part
of
of the
Yeah.
It's part of the South, not the Midwest.
Oklahoma's part of the South?
It's part of the Plains. But no, it's not part of the
I can
Midwest.
see. Yeah, they're right north of Texas. So they're like north-south.
Live in Texas.
Speaking of South, though, if you go to Florida, the more north you go, the more south it gets.
Oh, good lord.
Anyway, what else do we have here?
We have Trotsky expelled in 1926. Leon Trotsky is expelled from the Politburo in the Soviet Union, in Soviet Russia.
Yeah, Leon Trotsky, one of the Leninists.
Mm-hmm. He was a Marxist.
Trotsky, Lenin, and Marx, or one of the Marxists.
Mm-hmm. He was a Marxist revolutionary.
Lenin took power and got rid of him. That's what these people do. They work together until you're no longer of use to them. Then they kick you to the curb.
Or then you become a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not useful unless you become a threat.
I mean, like today's political climate, how everything's collapsing on itself. So
ultimate power
corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely. Corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
So we also have 1932 here. The man's Hitler made chancellor. So in 1932, Shaft and Thyssen demand Adolf Hitler become a German chancellor. The German chancellor, I should say.
Yikes. Yeah, his rise to power.
Yep.
Now, this is pretty interesting.
Yep. That is, yeah.
No, this next one is
women
interesting.
are allowed. Yeah, I know. In 1933, women are allowed to vote in Spain. Helps right wing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's way before us. When was women's right?
No, women got suffrage in 1919. Hold on a second.
Earlier, huh?
U.S. women's suffrage.
The late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, June 4th, 1919.
Oh, way earlier.
The 19th Amendment, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, here's the thing: the Spanish, under Francisco Franco, the Spanish Revolution was a right-wing, movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So giving women the right to vote aided Francisco Franco with his civil war, which ended right before the outbreak of the Second World War.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, But hey, go women out in Spain.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to go in Spain. I bet you there's some celebration going on.
For the wrong reason. Like I'm all for. A
lot of times that's the way it is.
I'm all for equal rights, but see, I'm not even going to get into it. Let's move on to 1939. Yeah. Comic superheroes The Flash as Jay Garrick and Hawkman Carter Hall first appeared in Flash Comics #1, published by DC, Detective Comics. So
Wow,
the
you
Flash
know
and
DC
Hawkman.
was? Detective Comics?
Detective Comics, yeah.
Never heard of that.
DC.
Yeah.
Well, like, that's Batman, Superman.
Yeah, I got that.
Or,
I never heard DC before.
Yeah. There was the whole Marvel versus DC.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So,
I don't know comics at all,
yeah,
so there you go. It's like the line in baseball, you know?
You got those 1940s, buddy.
A cricket wicket?
Cricket wicket.
What else do we got here? 1940. We have the first major German air raid on Birmingham. About 440 bombers killed 450 people. Wow, that's
440 bombers?
Yeah. So that's almost one bomber a person. That's kind of a waste of munition.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Dude, you just took a lady death.
Say what?
You just took a lady death. You're supposed to read the first 1940.
Oh, well, that wasn't even on my thing.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought we had put that one there.
Did we?
I
don't remember.
I could have sworn.
Take it. Whatever, just take it.
Go for it.
Well, anyways, Belgium King Leopold III visits Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Same day of the German air raid.
All right.
So.
Well, you get to get this one. This is a good one.
Devilish left. 1942, Operation Uranus. Soviet offensive begins during Battle of Stalingrad. 1 million Soviet soldiers encircle the German 6th Army.
Operation Uranus.
Encircle them. Operation Uranus.
Yeah, because...
Or Uranus. You know, it's supposed to be Uranus, but you know.
We
always love saying
that.
No.
Oh, Stalingrad? Yeah.
Stalingrad, yeah.
Well, no,
next thing they're going to do, they're going to say Uranus isn't a planet either anymore.
What?
Because they took away Pluto.
No, they're not going to say that.
Who's saying that?
No, nobody. She's being facetious.
Oh,
so
I'm being facetious.
She's being fecalist. But no, like Operation Uranus. Like I find it fitting because the Germans were going to get absolutely pounded by the Russians.
Yeah.
In
the fact
in their gassy giant.
Dude. But also, like, think of the wording on here. They encircled the 6th Army.
So now I'm getting an image of that one meme with the lady on the couch and all the guys behind her, or the same thing with that one lady cop, like, who slept with all the officers in her station or whatever.
Oh, you know, I mean, there are certain shapes that the human body makes and stuff, and you know.
Yikes. Okay, let's move on up to 1952 here. What do we got? Which one? This one here. This is an interesting one.
Yes, 1952, North American F-86 Sabre sets a world aircraft speed record of 1,124 kilometers per hour.
So let's see how fast that is. 698 miles per hour. So
you know, like how it's always bigger with the kilometers, with the metrics and everything.
And what is the sound barrier? 500?
I could have sworn. For some reason,
43
meters a second, 767 miles per hour. So not yet sound barrier.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say, like, I could have sworn that the sound barrier was at somewhere in the 700s.
You're absolutely
before
right.
You like looked that up. Yeah, I was like, I could have sworn the sound barrier isn't till like 700 something miles an hour if you're doing like our standards.
Now, the sound barrier. Here's an interesting thing. The sound barrier was intentionally broken in, like, I think 1956. However, it was unintentionally broken in 1947. The Bell X-1 Glamorous Glennis, piloted by Air Force Captain Charles E. Chuck Yeager. Hey, Chuck Yeager. Became the first airplane to fly faster than the speed of sound, Mach 1. The experimental purpose-built aircraft reached 1,127 kilometers per hour, 700 miles on Mach 1.06. Well, actually, no.
Jesus.
I believe, because I read it.
Yeager wasn't flying in 47.
Yes, he was.
He
right
wasn't
there.
That old. I know. I'm reading it, and I'm disbelieving what I'm reading. He was a pilot in 47.
Apparently.
Probably very young. How old is Yeager?
Chuck Yeager. Let's see here. I don't even know how to spell people's names. Click that. He was born in 1923. Oh. He died in 2020? What? Damn, he was old.
Yeah, he did.
Almost 100 years old.
Dude, he died 3 years ago. Holy shit.
Wow.
I mean, holy bucket.
He was 97
Holy
years
guacamole.
old. Okay, so I didn't realize he was that
Holy
old.
crap.
He was flying pretty late. He was pretty old when he was actively flying.
Yeah, well, same with Grandpa Bill.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being aged and seasoned. Some of them are still the best darn pilots out there.
True.
You know what's really sad? I have a feeling that they marked him as the Kung Flu for his death because he died in 2020.
But let's not talk about that.
Well, because that's when everything started going, the outbreak.
Yeah, but now you're
maybe
really
that could be something.
Well, that's what they did with everything. Like, oh, they died because of this, to push the agenda. But
okay.
Well, we should maybe talk about that maybe in the Rumble cleanup. Let's keep it off of the guys. Alright.
How did check? Nicole said Yeager had gone through some physical challenges in recent years and had a fall that led to complications. Yeager was never a quitter.
Fall that led to complications.
Now, what were you saying, Alice? Because you were talking while we were talking. I didn't hear a single thing you said.
Oh, I was saying that maybe we should leave that for something in the Rumble, talking about the KF thing.
Oh, well.
You shouldn't go into that stuff either.
Yeah, true.
Because you gotta be careful. Because remember last time we talked about it on the Peanut, we got in trouble.
You're not kidding. That was all on me.
Well, because we straight up said the words, but you're right. Anyway, let's move on up to another 1952 here. Spain joins UNESCO, which is the
UNESCO.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
What's UNESCO?
UNESCO, which is the United Nations something heritage. Hold on a second. Whoops! I clicked something bad.
While you're looking that up, UNESCO reminds me of Nabisco, which makes me kind of happy.
Huh.
But then I'm like, well, UNESCO kind of sounds like Crisco, so is it like a snack with Crisco on it? Because that would be gross.
UNESCO reminds me of UNICEF.
Yeah. Well, it's actually UNICEF is United Nations something else, but this is.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say what UNICEF reminds me of because that's just inappropriate.
Oh, God. Well, UNESCO stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. It is a specialized agency of the United Nations aimed at promoting world peace and security through international cooperation in education, arts, sciences, and cultures. Recently, I actually reported this on our news show a while ago, but the baguettes, because of all the stuff, as I mentioned, that started back in 2020, all the lockdowns, all the closing, and all the, tens or hundreds of thousands of companies went belly up, within a year.
Yeah.
Because of all that, and everything, becoming more modernized and, under robotic, everything's industrialized.
Okay.
The baguette became a UNESCO World Heritage thing because the actual, art of hand making. And how they did it back in the day of making baguettes in France is going the way of the dodo. It's becoming a forgotten art. So now it's becoming a documented and backed up art just in case it stops becoming a thing. If all it takes is one or two generations and you can lose a whole thing.
Craftsmanship is so far gone in this country. It's unbelievable.
We were talking about this the other day, Saturday.
Yeah.
I know how to bake baguettes.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. UNICEF. I want to know what UNICEF stands for. Originally called the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund in full, now officially United Nations Children's Fund. It's an agency of the United Nations responsible for providing humanitarian and development aid to children worldwide. So I remember as a kid, they had a bunch of commercials, and I actually wanted to do this a couple of times. You go around trick-or-treating, and instead of getting candy, you have a special UNICEF thing, and you go, may I have a penny?
No.
And you go around, you collect a penny trick-or-treating from every house, and you donate that to UNICEF.
It's hard to eat pennies, though.
Well, you're not eating the pennies, you dillweed. You're getting it to... God.
Jesus, Papa Dukes.
Anyway, moving on up to 1953, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2, baseball is a sport, not a business. And we spoke about this a couple of times. How could baseball get away with that, while it's supposed to be doing this and that, how they went into free agencies,
Yeah.
So do you want to give us a quick little rundown?
Oh, well, I don't know what they're referring to here.
Well, it's because baseball is a sport, not a business, so it doesn't have to abide by business rules.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's crazy because it is a business. And, I don't know what to say other than I remember, I think it was Kurt Flood, if I'm not mistaken, went to court and won and started the whole thing of free agency. Because back in the day, when you signed with a ball club, you're basically locked in for life or until their discretion if they wanted to trade you. But if they didn't want to trade you, you were there.
You're kind of a paid slave.
In a way, yeah, because you signed a contract and then you have renewable clauses and so forth, and they locked you in for life, unless they wanted to trade you. And he broke that and said, he went to court and said, no, I have the right to change if I want to, and he won eventually and changed everything for all the ball players, and they make the money they make today because of that.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
The more you know. Boop, boop, boop.
Yep. 1955, the National Review published its first issue. Okay. 1959, Rocky and his friends debuted on ABC, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
You know, the flying squirrel and the moose, and then, Natasha and, what was it, Boris? And Fearless Leader.
Boris and Natasha.
Yoink of the Yukon. I think that was something else, but there was, he wasn't part of that, but Dudley Do-Right was.
Probably from the same animator.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yoink of the Yukon. Hold on a second. Yoink of the
Didn't
Dudley Do-Right was
a spin-off, or if I'm not mistaken, or if he's in there. I'm not sure.
Do-Right. Maybe not.
Dudley Do-Right, yeah. Okay, yeah, so it was Dudley Do-Right. So what was the other guy that I mentioned? Yoink of the Yukon, then there's some other
Never heard of that.
Mountie guy. God, I don't even know what I said. So
Dudley Do-Right was the only Mountie guy.
And by the way, Dudley Do-Right, they have a live-action movie, and guess who the star was?
Can't imagine.
Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably before he became the Whale.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so.
Oh Lord.
The Whale, by the way, is a really good movie. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go watch it. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie, but was it like movie of the year worthy? I don't think it was.
Yes.
But that's just...
Yes, I would say so.
I'll tell you what, it's it's a movie that really pulls
I
on
don't
you.
know. I have to review again who was up for the best movie of the year. Don't get me wrong, The Whale was a very, very good movie. It was sad and emotional and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's not good because it's sad. It's good because, it's not because it's sad because it pulls on your heart. It brings forth the real struggle of humanity and, someone who's gone through a lot and, has fallen into a hole, and then he finally was able to get his family back right before he moved on to the next world.
It depends on how you look at these awards.
Well,
if you think it's the best entertaining movie of the year, probably not. It was the best movie to pull on your emotions. I would say yes.
Well,
so
I wouldn't say
look at the award.
I wouldn't say pull on the emotions. I would say it's the best movie of the year that depicts the human agony. Okay. The human condition. So.
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe we could put that into that reaction show that we were talking about doing.
Yeah.
We'll just do movie reviews about things we've watched.
Which, by the way, we have a lot of announcements coming up on the Peanut later today. So.
Nice.
Oh yes.
I want to hear about them.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be part of it.
Yeah. But yeah, you gotta pop in for that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna. But we'll plug that in later tonight at the end of the show here. Anyways, where are we
I'm
at
gonna
now?
read this here. I'm gonna read a couple. Then it's to you because it's hockey. 1959 Ford, found on road dead or fix or repair daily. Motors canceled its poorly received Edsel model. This not the one that blew up constantly? Or...
Oh no, here's the funny thing. Everybody jokes about the Edsel, and it lived and died quickly. Family friends, he bought an Edsel franchise.
Oh no!
Yes, lost his shirt.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I thought it was you said he bought an Edsel. I'm like, okay, that's bad. Franchise. Oh no! That's worse.
He had an Edsel dealership.
Oh no! Oh no! Is that the same guy who did something and then gave up and kept doing different things?
No.
Okay.
No,
you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh man. Oh no. That's awful.
Where are we at next?
1961. Actually, why is this not in here? What the hell? Okay, that's why. That's 1962. Go for it.
All right, 1962. Fidel Castro accepts the removal of Soviet weapons.
Yep.
So this is right around the time during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, yeah, directly at the end.
That is it.
That is it.
You got to give credit to Kennedy, that's for sure. They're testing
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a young
we-
guy, he's not going to stand up to us, blah, 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 and he did.
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me. Like,
He's also responsible for the Bay of Pigs, which wasn't a good thing.
Well, actually, what we should do, we could talk about this, because your dad was around during that time. You and I were not.
Oh, I was in high
And he
school
could
then.
give us a whole bunch of insight, like on a peanut show about the whole Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, we really thought we were going into World War III. Really thought that was going to tick it off.
Oh,
Kick it
I
off.
thought we were already going into it now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in
Oh, I'm just
'62, we
kidding, no, we're
thought,
not.
here comes World War III with Russia and us.
Yeah, with the doomsday clock and everything going too, because this was during the Cold War. But yeah, this would be a great topic to talk about, like on the Rumble side of the peanut sometime in the future, if you'd be interested in talking about it, and you just we pick your brain about like questions and what it was like growing up during that time period and everything. I would really love that.
The duck and cover time. They thought if
Yeah.
an atomic bomb gets, just get under your desk
Yeah, that'll
and
work.
cover your head. That'll do it.
Now,
No,
Alice, remember that
yeah.
video I showed you yesterday about Kennedy? You know, like we were talking about this actually just yesterday. I just posted that into the underbar description section. If anybody wants to see that.
Excellent.
So,
Good thinking. Great thinking there,
Yeah.
bud.
So of course, watch that after this, but you'll surely watch that. It's really interesting. And actually, I'd like to watch it with you too,
Woo!
Loon.
Okay.
So,
I
anyway,
just realized something about 1965.
yeah, here we go.
Kellogg's Pop-Tarts have been created.
Pop Tarts.
Oh my god, I just looked at it, I was like, oh my lord.
Yeah,
We got Pop-Tarts, boys and girls.
we got chaos.
Life is good. Pop-Tarts were created.
Yeah.
A new
I got
level
a
of joy.
We got cows. Oh god, Xander. Alright, let's move on up here.
Oh, we have to take. This is so weird.
Okay, so 1966, we have Mad Dog Vachon beats Dick the Bruiser in Omaha to become the NWA champ.
Dick the Bruiser.
Some guy named Dick the Bruiser. You know, it makes me think of a scenario involving stamps and mushrooms.
Oh gosh darn it, dude.
He's Dick the Bruiser. He's
Stop! Move on, quick!
Yeah,
You
we're canceled.
you pulled us right
You've been-
down back to there, didn't you? Right away.
you had to say full.
You've been canceled.
1969.
man.
Oh God, 1969. What a good year.
Wow, where did this show go?
Apollo 12's Charles Conrad and Alan Bean became the third and fourth humans on the moon. That's pretty cool. You know?
That is cool. I thought this was a PG show.
Man, I could give you a really nasty 69 joke.
Oh my God.
We've said worse things on here, I'm pretty sure.
1970, Golden Gate Park Conservatory became a California State Historical Landmark. Cool.
Nice!
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah. And I'll take this one, and then back to you. 1971, Disney World's Fort Wilderness opened. So if anybody, interested, I don't give a tiddler's damn about Disney, but if anybody does, like Fort Wilderness, it's history.
Yeah,
So-
no, of course.
Yeah. Oh, perfect
Tiddler's
timing.
Dam. Really?
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
We saw this last
Because
night.
we watched
Oh,
this
did you?
last
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Like I had never seen it. We saw it last
Oh,
night
man,
because we researched and
Yep,
wrote.
I mean,
So
yeah, dude, yeah, like it's a great movie, but
Oh, yeah. I
One
mean, I
Flew
haven't
Over
seen
the
it since the
Cuckoo's
70s,
Nest,
so.
1975. It's a film adaptation of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest based on stage adaptation of a novel by Ken Kesey. It was directed by Milos Forman and starring Jack Nicholson and Lois Fletcher as also portrayed as Nurse Ratched. Was released and it was also the Academy Award Best Picture in 1976.
it was a really good movie.
So-
That's interesting. It's an adaptation of an adaptation.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
of an
Nicholson
adaptation.
just
I'm kidding.
killed it. He was
he was good. He was good.
Oh yeah, like like the ending is the ending's sad, but it has a
Yeah.
good like heartfelt ending
The
because
ending
of the
is
chief.
serendipitous because I'm spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson gets a lobotomy and then the Indian kills him and then escapes. So
Yeah. So those who don't want to hear that, like, you should timestamp the time for a spoiler for that movie. For this, so if they don't want to hear it, they just skip
it's been
ahead.
out since '75, Alice. If somebody hasn't seen it and they care about spoilers, that's on them.
Fair enough.
I don't care. Let them cry.
Fair enough, yeah. Oh gosh, we got 1976. Patty Hearst, American publishing heiress. Patty Hearst is freed on $15 million bail, pending appeal of bank robbery conviction.
$15 million bail. Holy crap!
Yeah, they weren't.
Was it like you have to do like 10 or 15% of that?
Yeah.
So it's still gonna be in the millions. Like
And
what,
you think
5
I'm
million?
an expensive child? Oh no,
Oh
I'm
my
letting you
God.
live easy.
I'm gonna start calling Xander Patty Hearst now for funsies.
No.
Hey Patty Hearst, how's it going today?
I wish I was a Hearst.
So do
Ew.
I.
Dude, you want to be a car that drives the dead around? Okay, fair enough.
Wait, what?
I thought you said Hearst, like.
No, not a Hearst, a Hearst. I want to be part of that
I
family.
know.
The Hearst clan.
Yeah.
No, but the P didn't really come out right there on my end, so I thought different. I was like, wait, really? Okay. To each
There
their
you
own.
go.
Yeah, 1979, Chuck Berry released from prison for income tax evasion conviction.
Huh. All right.
And if for those who don't know who he is, he's a rock guitarist and
Oh,
singer-songwriter.
Oh,
Yeah.
some of the all-time great stuff. Are you kidding me?
Like, I don't really know much
dude,
about
that-
him, but I know he was
Chuck
good.
Berry?
Like he's in, because like
Oh, dude, Chuck Berry?
I haven't,
He's neat,
I
man.
know of him. Okay, now I haven't said this in a while, so any new viewer, like when it comes to names, celebrities, famous people, all that stuff, like
Yeah.
I only have names in my head of people who I find important, so I don't give any craps about actors except very few. Like Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Johnny Depp.
No, yeah, I know.
like-
I know for sure. because
And if a
I'll tell
name's in
you,
the, now, here's the other thing: if a name is in my brain and I don't really know much about it, then it's in my brain for a reason. Like Chuck Berry is an example of that.
Yeah.
So I know about him. I haven't really listened to much of his
Well,
music,
if you
but I
heard some
know.
of it, you would know. Oh, is that his? You'd be
Yeah.
doing that. But he,
When
what
you
he
and your
did
dad
when
go out for
you
coffee-
talk about different times. He traveled on his own, and he played the guitar and he did all his music. But when he go to different
Hey,
high
Pop.
schools and everything, he'd bring in the local musicians, make sure they could
Oh,
play
that's
his music,
cool.
and then he
Yeah.
was gone. He
is-
just went solo, and then he brought locals to back him up, make sure they could play his music, and
Yeah.
Oh, that is
went on high.
awesome, dude.
dude,
That is
Papa
awesome.
Papa dude.
Yeah.
When you go out for coffee with Zandy Wandy here, you should play some Chuck Berry for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you love it. It's great stuff.
Yeah, he introduced me to
When you get Chuck
like what's her
Berry with some
face?
Coffee.
Who's that?
Yeah.
The queen of the singer. The first time we were having our burritos at the library.
Janis Joplin.
Yes.
Yeah, another great one.
Introduced me to Janis Joplin
Yeah.
back then. Anyway, let's get back in the history show. 1980, CBS TV banned Calvin Klein jean ad featuring Brooke Shields. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I wonder what happened with that.
There were some tight jeans or something that they got.
Oh, okay.
Well, Brooke Shields is kind of a weirdo, but,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
whatever.
it had something to do with her age and then super tight jeans or something. I can't quite remember, but it was a big hoopla of nonsensical BS, you know.
And here we go. This
Did
is,
you like it?
I got tripped up on
Here's
this
the
earlier. Here's the articles I
one.
wanted you to read, the hockey ones.
Oh, yeah. 1983, Edmonton Oilers beat New Jersey Devils 13-4. Wayne Gretzky calls the Devils a Mickey Mouse organization.
The Mickey Mouse Club. No, you want to talk? You
I
want to
thought
talk
that was a
about? You want to talk about a literal Mickey Mouse organization in hockey? The Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
They were created by Disney.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh, no, I know.
They're
And
named
they
after
filmed
the
it in
movie.
my
Yeah.
they filmed it in my home state, not to be called Wisconsin Xander, but Minnesota.
I haven't ragged on you with this Wisconsin thing for so long. You're the only one keeping it alive now.
I know, because I haven't heard it for so
was
long,
in
and
my
I'm kind of missing it a little bit. Anyways, so we also have in 1983, we have Jari Kurri becomes the first and only Finnish player to score 5 goals in a game.
Yeah, so from Finland. Yeah,
He's Finnish.
yeah. And we said yesterday we're taking all 83, so there you go.
Remember we
Oh
found
yes,
that-
Rob in 1983 again.
Oh yeah.
I can't quite remember why.
Oh, it originated from cricket.
Cricket, yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah, they call it a hat trick because after 3 goals they get a hat.
Yeah,
Or something, like a physical hat.
Yeah.
So they did a trick
Yeah,
and they get a
but
hat, the
people
hat
throw 'em.
trick. You know?
But during a hat trick in a game, people in the crowd will throw their hats onto the ice.
Ah.
Yeah, well, that was
Why do
hockey.
they throw a squid out there for some reason?
A squid?
Yeah, people do people throw weird things all the time.
Yeah, but no, the hat trick originated from cricket, and then it was adapted into hockey and other sports. And actually, I have this game on my phone where it's about soccer. It's called Football Club Tycoon or something. And some of the skills is hat tricks. So there's hat tricks in soccer as well.
Okay.
And I think there might be one in baseball because I have a baseball tycoon game too. But anyway, what is this one here?
I have to do the next two actually.
Yeah, you do.
So this one and the one after. Yeah. So we have 1983. Robert Whitney, 79 years old, conducts his final concert, leading the Louisville Orchestra at the opening of the Whitney Concert Hall at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Well, that is really kind of cool. Like, I love orchestras. There's just the string instruments with percussion and all that.
Yeah, the depth of the music's really incredible.
My mom was really into big bands because, that's where she grew up. You know, she grew up with the big bands. Like the musicians playing the instruments. Yeah. And I like big band music, and we don't get anything like that anymore today.
No.
Like, it's all just pop, hip hop, techno crap, like computer synthesizers. We don't get big band stuff. Like, outside of superhero movies, you know?
You gotta go back and listen to the album from Deep Purple.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Deep
I'm gonna look that up right now because, Deep Purple, that sounds like right up my alley.
I'm trying to remember the album name.
Dude, there's a movie about Deep Purple, which is, I can't remember, it has, it has Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson, in it. Almost Famous. I think it's depicted about this, underage kid writing an article for Rolling Stones, and then he's following the band Deep Purple.
I'm going to rattle off a couple of names and see if the loot here recognizes.
No,
Perfect Strangers?
No.
Okay, show more. You see anything interesting?
I can't see where the
Okay, well, we'll do this after the show then.
Yeah.
Let's move on. What else do we got here?
Well, you said big band, and just on a play on words, I was like, speaking of big bangs, a liquid gas tank in Mexico City explodes, killing 334 people.
Ooh.
Well, speaking of Big Bang, Sheldon Cooper.
Fair enough.
What else do we got here? 1984 as well, so you take this. Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh yeah, Gooden, youngest rookie in 1984. The New York Met Dwight Gooden, 20 years old, is the youngest to be named NL Rookie of the Year for the National League.
Yeah, it's this guy again. Like, he just looks angry.
Kind of a sad story, really. He was really a great baseball player, but he should have been one of the all-time greats. Drugs got him.
Oh yeah.
You know what they should have done? They should have made a movie about him when Denzel Washington was younger, because Denzel Washington kind of looks like
right.
a.
You're absolutely right.
Huh. Well, 1985 here, Herb Gardner's stage comedy I'm Not Rappaport, starring Judd Hirsch and Cleveland Little, opened at the Booth Theater, New York City, running for 891 performances, winning 3 Tony Awards. Cool. Judd Hirsch.
Big
name.
Yeah, and he's the guy that played the father to Jeff Goldblum in the movie Independence Day.
Yeah, you're right. You punched the president?
Yep.
Well, he wasn't the president at the time.
Yep. Just for those who nostalgic things that they can't recognize the guy's face. He's also been on the show Numbers, which was like a forensic kind of show. But anyways, I digress. Let's keep going.
1985, in the largest civil verdict in U.S. history, Pennzoil won $10.53 billion judgment against Texaco. Wow. Pennzoil versus Texaco. The big boys are fighting.
Wow. And what year was that?
85.
85?
85,
wow.
Yeah.
You imagine how much
the
money that was
boys
then compared to today?
A lot, Like, triple it. Let's just say triple it, because in the past, 3 years, our money has devalued by 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's just say 30 billion,
Okay. Yeah.
1985 as well, U.S. President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev met for the first time.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
And we are talking about this, actually, no, it was Kennedy. So Kennedy was meeting, it was something else. So Kennedy was the video I talked about earlier. About Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that stuff. So I really want to show it to you. So after the show, I gotta show it to you. But like he had secret letters to who was the leader of the Soviet Union back then? It wasn't Gorbachev. Khrushchev, thank you.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
With Kennedy.
Alice, let's get back to you here. 89.
1989, U.S. beats Trinidad 1-0, qualifying for the 1990 World Soccer Cup Finals. It was the U.S.'s first qualification since 1950.
39 years.
Yeah.
That's a while.
I remember, I think it was back at that, I don't know if it was specifically this, but because I had a number of Hispanics working for me then, so I went up to them and said, "We're getting better." Really pissed them off. Because it was always their sport, I go, "We're getting better, look out, we're coming."
Jesus Christ.
Hey, what's the taboo? You don't talk about the World Cup in Brazil when they lost to something?
But I wouldn't, no. They're pretty adamant down there.
Yeah. What else do we got? 1990, 1990. This one here. Go for it.
Yeah, this one right here. This one I've been waiting for all day. 1990, pop duo Milli Vanilli are stripped of their Grammy Awards after it's learned that they did not sing their award-winning "Girl, You Know It's True" album.
They lip-synced it, yeah.
Thinking back in the 90s, got a Grammy.
That.
Huh.
Yeah. Like they did a behind the music on VH1, and then like shortly after the filming, one of the members committed suicide. Sadly.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, but this was years and years after that whole thing happened. But you find eventually just couldn't handle his life or whatever. It was sad. But yeah.
I'm trying
what
to
else
find.
We got?
Trying to find which one. Here we go.
Scripture, Mama?
What?
No, go ahead.
1995. Here's a shout out to Creek Alley, our resident Beatles nut. 1995, the Beatles anthology documentary series premiered in the U.S. on ABC TV. The 6-hour program airs over 3 nights that week.
Good grief!
Yeah,
yep.
Beatles, wait, what?
Never heard of this going on.
I thought you said never heard of them. I'm like, what? We talked about the Beatles. You almost hurt my brain. But no, the Beatles, they're coming out with a new thing this year.
A new song.
Yeah. So, they're so big. There's still half of them are dead.
Yeah, it was stuff they had, and they had to refine it and do it. They tried it years ago, and it just couldn't work. And then new technology.
Yeah.
I think it was something. What's his name? The first one to die?
Harrison?
No, the one that got killed.
Lennon. John Lennon.
Yeah. It was a solo he did, and then they refined it and all played with him.
Ah. Okay.
He was doing that in his apartment. He played it on his own, and then the rest of them joined in, or they took Harrison or whatever it was, and combined a bunch of stuff.
Essentially, what they're doing with this Beatles album is what they've done with Carrie.
It's a whole album or a song?
It's a whole. Song. They're released. Well, it's either a song or I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Creek about that. Yeah. But essentially, what they're doing is the audio version, or the music equivalent of putting in Carrie Fisher CGI in that one Rogue One movie, or the Michael Jackson or Tupac holograms they've had at concerts.
You went over my head. I have no idea.
Well, no, after Carrie Fisher was dead, because Carrie Fisher died, so they brought in they did this with the actor who played Grand Moff Tarkin. They brought in a CGI of them into the movie, and that's sparking a whole thing because now you're using somebody's likeness and you're not paying royalties because they're dead.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing that they're on. One of the big things was on the strike is that they could use an actor for a movie and just use that likeness and never use the actor again and not pay him anything when you're using his likeness.
Yeah.
So that's some of the big
complaints about the whole strike. Is it still?
I don't know.
Is it still going on, the whole writer strike thing?
Writer, I think's been solved, but I don't think the actors.
Okay.
I don't know if the actors.
I don't follow that crap
either.
So anyway, moving back into. Sorry, what else?
I was saying I think there's been a resolution for the writer's strike, but I was saying we should also keep moving on up.
Yeah. 1996, Albert Beale signed a record 5-year, no, not that one. 1996, Sex and Longing closed at Court Theater, New York. That's a little ironic.
Yeah, we had.
Apparently they weren't
because
long.
of the.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't long at all.
Only 22 performances. Wow, talk about a lack of stamina.
That hit me in waves.
No, it did. That was the greatest reaction. I couldn't ask for better than that. I was hoping for the best, but I got better than best.
That hit me in waves. Oh my god. What else do we got here? 1996, Space Shuttle STS-80 Columbia 21 launched into space. And we were talking about this yesterday, Alice, while we were researching and writing.
Yeah.
Like, Columbia is...
Gonna put that one in.
What?
I thought we weren't going to put that one in because, like...
Well, no, I wanted to have this conversation. Columbia is one of the space shuttles that blew up. It was the one on re-entry in 2003 because one of its heat-absorbing tiles came off during launch, and it burnt up in the atmosphere. The first one was a Challenger that blew up on the way up.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. One for re-entry, one for going out, you know?
Yep.
The Challenger just
That's what
knocked
she
everybody silly, especially when you
That's
have a
what she
teacher
said.
on that.
Oh, yeah.
And the all our kids are watching it live.
Yep.
Their teacher's going up in space, and boom, it blows up.
Yikes.
Actually, you know what's really funny? There's some pictures of all the people that were supposedly on that flight shuttle, and they're people or just perfect doppelgangers of the same person later after the Challenger.
Oh, yeah, one of those conspiracies, yeah. Yeah.
No, it's an interesting one. We could actually go into that, like, for, like, the, the...
Edge of Disclosure?
Edge of Disclosure, we should talk about that.
Challenger duplicates conspiracy.
The fact that they had the same names, too, but in a different city.
Alright. Anyway, 1996 here, the 12.9-kilometer Confederation Bridge joining Borden, Charlton, Prince Edward Island, and Cape Joyman, New Brunswick. Hey, New Brunswick. Is completed and became the longest bridge over ice-covered waters in the world. So let's take a look at this Confederation Bridge. I'm sorry, Alice, if I talk over you a lot.
No, it's okay. No, I just was saying it like a quiet thing. Like, oh, it's like I like bowling because there's Brunswick.
Well, no, New Brunswick, it's an inside joke. The loon here, once had a weird dream where he was in New Brunswick and he needed to make a telephone call, and he was going to use a payphone, which I'm not sure if anybody today knows what a payphone is anymore.
The dream is so old, there was no cell phones then.
Yeah, that was before cell phones. Yeah, that's right. And he was trying to get coins to use the payphone, but the coins were like tiny little dumbbells.
They're like jacks. They're like 3-dimensional jacks.
Yeah.
That was their coins.
It was weird.
I don't know. That stuck with you forever.
Yeah.
We still talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude, Papa Duke's like I was actually gonna say instead of it taking Canadian quarters, it only took American quarters.
Yeah.
Well, actually, someone I know has a relative who apparently doesn't even know what a quarter is, or a dime, or any of that. But that's...
We will not speak their name.
No, but anyway, what do we got here? 96 for you, Miss Alice.
Oh, what do we have in 96 here? The case of Port Arthur massacre comes to trial.
In the Port Arthur massacre was a mass shooting that occurred on April 28th, 1996 at Port Arthur, a tourist town in the Australian state of Tasmania. Killed 35 and wounded an additional 23. The deadliest massacre in modern Australian history. And that's probably pushing, gun control. They had a whole gun buyback program and everything. And look at Australia today.
Yeah,
it's back to a penal colony. So.
But mind you, this is also 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, they were still, gun control's been a thing since gun was made.
Yeah, well, this is the precursor to the gun buyback. Yeah, for sure.
Well, no, the buybacks were in the 80s. I think.
I thought they happened in the 2000s.
Australian time. No, 96 or 97. So
Okay.
Oh,
So once again, another example. I'm on one side, somebody else is on the other, and the truth is in the middle. Like,
good. Well, so this whole shooting was the catalyst for it.
it was, yeah, the famous buyback and amnesty scheme in 96, 97, led by John Howard after the Port Arthur massacre, prompted the surrender of almost 650,000 firearms. Research has consistently shown that the post-96 reforms had immediate and sustained effect on the incidence of mass shootings. Yeah, because they have all the guns. They're no longer, doing all these, most of these, not all of them, but most of these are government pushed, to push an agenda. Well, and that's a historical fact. I'm not even talking about modern day. I'm talking about the past, ever since guns were invented. So. Yeah,
well, we should have like a thing, like a special on talking about the Second Amendment and all guns and all that stuff. That'd be a good one for a whole hour. But let's keep on moving it up. But
I have a whole thing about that. So let me add that.
I don't know what
add that in because that could be.
We are 11 minutes over the hour, but whatever. Let me add that into the peanut real quick. Where's the peanut channel? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, just go into the Rumble because that would be a Rumble conversation.
Yeah, there we go. It's a Rumble peanut conversation. Anyway, for the sake of time, I'm going to start rattling us off here. 1998, Vincent Van Gogh's portrait of the artist without beard sold for $71.5 million at an auction. So dollars.
98, jeez.
Yeah, and Vincent Van Gogh, very famous for having a beard.
Yeah.
Seldomly, shown clean shaven. So it's not only an artwork from a very famous artist, but a rarity. Because it portrays him without his signature beard.
Yeah.
So, I believe.
It's always funny. People thought he was a terrible painter back in the day, but they find his artwork so fascinating now.
Yeah, and actually, there's a scene on Doctor Who when when he's with Vincent Van Gogh, and you know what? Hold on a second.
Martha, no. We got time constraints here, buddy. We can watch that after.
I know, I'm not going to watch it right now, Alice. I'm getting the link so that way I can add it to the underbar.
Oh, where he finds out that his work is amazing pieces of work.
Yeah, people love him.
Yeah. Yeah, they love him. Yeah, he's but still didn't stop him from, demising. Anywho's, sorry.
We also have at 97. I skipped over this. McCockney septuplets born to Bobby McCockney in Des Moines, Iowa. First set of septuplets to survive infancy. So that's 7.
Damn.
Right? Yeah.
Septuplets? No, septuplets.
Septuplets.
7.
Quinn is
7. Right?
Yeah. So this is the first. Yeah, that's right. Septa is 7. So septuplets. So the first 7 to survive past infancy.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. We also have in 1999, Shenzhou 1, the People's Republic of China, the CCP, launched their first Shenzhou spacecraft.
Nice.
Yeah. Moving on up into the 2000s. Innovative video in 2006, innovative video game console. The Nintendo Wii was released in North America by Nintendo President Satoru Iwata. So the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when that came out.
Yeah.
And then we got a Wii in 97, not 97, 2007 or something. We got it for Christmas.
Got it for Kimberly, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it for us. I don't remember when it was.
Yeah.
What are you, a time travel, Xander?
Well, I might as well be. Wibbly wobbly,
that's
timey-wimey stuff.
Kind of what we're doing on the History Channel.
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Yeah. We're Doctor Who up in this business.
I love it. Yeah, I'm going to want to watch Doctor Who again. Thanks a lot, buddy. Anyway, let's keep going.
What else do we got? 2010. You take this, Alice.
Oh, in 2010, New Zealand suffers its worst mining disaster since 1914 when the first of 4 explosions occur at the Pike River Mine. 29 people are killed, sadly, out of this. 4 explosions. I don't think we ever even looked up the picture, but we don't have to. But, if anybody wants to look it up, just look up the 2010 New Zealand mine explosion, and you can look that from there.
Is it graphic, or should I look it up?
I don't know. I was just saying for time reasons that we just, tell people they want
to... oh, wow, okay.
Oh.
I see.
Oh.
So, well, I guess and here's all the dead people. Rest in peace.
Aww.
Well, when you see faces, it really brings it home.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you put a face to the bodies,
I like this guy. He has his gear on. He's ready for work.
I like the handlebar man with the backwards cap. Fourth in on the top row.
Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, he kind of looks like a Mr. Ballin a little bit, with a mustache.
I also like the guy with the beard too on the second row, third from the end.
Oh
but,
yeah. Yeah.
You know, I like them all.
Yeah, I like
God
them all.
bless you
Yeah,
guys
of
for
course.
working a hard job.
They all look cool.
They're all beautiful, and sorry for the
Way
loss
different
to the
than just
family.
hearing the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stepmom, she's from New Zealand, so who
wow.
knows? Maybe she might know some of those people. So, anyways, another sad story. 2013, 23 people are killed by a suicide bombing attack on the Iranian embassy in Beirut, Lebanon.
Yeah.
Actually, we screwed up. We missed one. Can you get this one as well? 2012, another death. This is interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2012. We have the Plymouth Crown Court clears 2 farmers of health and safety offense related to a giant hay bale death of the ELO cellist Mike Edwards.
So somebody got killed by a giant hay bale. That sucks.
No, yeah. Well, the weight of those things wrapped up because you see how big they get. Yeah, that will crush them.
I've seen a video of a guy. I've seen a video of a guy driving a tractor with a hay baler. Just doing his work. And then he gets out of the cab, strips naked, jumps in the baler, goes through it, and then runs with the bale of hay wrapped around him. That must have hurt, though.
Can I take this 2014? Because nobody cares about David Blaine.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, David Blaine, and people who like magic. Yeah, look it up. 2014, American singer, songwriter, and piano man Billy Joel receives Library of Congress Gershwin Prize at the White House in Washington, D.C. So this happened with when Obama was in office, but he got first concert I ever went to, too, was him. So, yeah.
All right. That reminds me of the Piano Man song, which I gotta listen to that.
The Piano Man.
I gotta listen to that after the show. Here we go. Oh, that's Billy. Yeah, Billy Joel. Okay.
Yeah. What are you doing here? Da 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 da.
There you go.
Da 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 da. Oh, 2017.
Anyway,
this is big. 2017, Oumuamua, first detected by scientists, 400 meters long and reddish, the first known interstellar object in our solar system, thought to be possible alien origin, since thought to be slice of a small planet. There's also a theory that it might have been an interstellar craft because it came in and it slingshotted around the sun and it launched back out. And if we were going to co-colonize a world in another system, we would use the gravitational force of a slingshot of a star to boost our speed, and that's exactly what it did. It did exactly the characteristics of deep space travel.
Well, we already do that.
Yeah,
we
I thought
slingshot
it
around
also
the
when
moon.
it came into...
Yeah. Apollo 13.
Well, I also Xander. Well, I also thought that that object when it came in, it slowed down into our solar system.
It did.
And then it sped up.
It did.
As it left.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
All sorts of weird stuff. So.
Here we go. You kill this boy. You kill this bad boy.
2018, buddy. Nissan chairman Carlos Ghosn was arrested in Japan for financial misconduct. Good. We need to bring these rich people into their place. Like you break the law.
Mean, come on.
You break the law, you suffer the consequences.
Well, what does financial misconduct mean?
Well, okay. Well, let me look that up.
It doesn't sound like you're breaking a law. To me, it sounds like gibberish. But maybe he did. I'm not saying. It just doesn't tell me.
According to Section 1H of the Financial Services and Markets Act 2000, FSMA, financial misconduct is defined as fraud or dishonesty, misconduct in or misuse of information relating to a financial market, handling the proceeds of crime.
Okay.
So there you go.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yep. 2019, as many as 106 have died in over 5 days in protests across 21 Iranian cities, according to Amnesty International. Just 12 deaths reported by the government. Yikes. So, wow. No comments on that? Okay. 2019, more than 1,000 protesters. Sorry, what, Alice?
With the fact that people died, it's always sucky.
Well, yeah, but the people died, and then the government reported a vastly lower amount of deaths.
Yeah. Well, that's just corruption at its finest. Sorry, I was taking a sip of some Sprite when you were saying that.
2019 as well, more than 1,000 protesters were detained by police after a 3-day battle at Hong King Polytechnic University. Which, let's see if that is part of the whole Hong Kong, because let's not forget the whole Hong Kong.
Yeah, you said that we were going to look it up. Yeah.
Okay, so it is Hong
we
Kong.
Looked at this
so
last month
our source was wrong. Our source misspelled it. So it is Hong Kong, not Hong King.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought it too, but
this is right around the time where the Hong Kong protests, and then right before COVID came. Kung Flu City happened.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Kung Fu fighting.
Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
You telling me it was a coincidence?
I don't think so. 2020.
Yeah, we can delve into that in the peanut another time.
Yeah.
Another day, another. We're going to be talking about lucid dreaming tonight, so.
Yeah, this peanut. We're really going to be getting into like dreaming and all that stuff. And
I want to hear what you guys are creating. Is what I want to hear.
Yeah. 2020 Scottish. Not that guy. 2020 inquiry found credible evidence elite Australian troops unlawfully killed 39 Afghan civilians. Ooh. So yeah, the first world going into third world, in Black Ops tactics going in, the jackals, look up Tales of an Economic Hitman and all that stuff, which is another thing I want to show you. So
sometimes I think it's poor intel too, just to start something. But then when you get caught, you gotta be accountable.
Confessions of an Economic Hitman is what I want people to see. So I'm going to add that in the underbar as well, real quick. But I want specifically, I want to watch this as well with you, Loon. It's piling up. So anyway, we got that. 2021, Australia became the first country to make the mandatory from 1st of February as it announced its fourth lockdown. So the buzzwords modern day can't really use it currently. Probably have to wait another decade or so before ramifications of even talking about this will be alleviated.
Gotta wait to make a joke about it.
Yeah, statute of limitation type situation, So anyway, 2021. Why don't you take this one, Alice?
To 2021, we got the longest partial lunar eclipse since 1440.
Whoa.
This lunar eclipse lasted about 3 hours and 28 minutes and 23 seconds long for a lunar eclipse.
So
but it's the longest running one. Yeah, it's only a partial. It's not a full lunar eclipse. It's a partial one, but it lasted for over 3 hours.
581 years.
Yeah, that's a few hundred years, boys and girls.
Yep. We also
I actually watched that lunar eclipse, I think, because I think it happened because, good thing about a lunar eclipse is that everybody can see it instead of a solar eclipse.
Yep. 2021, the MLB Cleveland Indians name change to Guardians became official. Okay?
Oh, Jesus.
So, because of, political crap. Correct. Yeah, political PC, garbage, social justice warriors.
I just want to know what they're guarding.
Yeah. Clearly not their name.
So what are we guarding?
Yeah. And,
I could see, a hockey team be called the Guardian, but not a baseball team.
Yeah.
What are the Washington Redskins called nowadays?
The Chiefs. No.
The Washingtons.
Washington Redskins are now what?
I think they're called the Washingtons. It's called the Washington.
I think so. Native American name change.
NFL Washington Chiefs or
Washington Commanders.
Commanders
will not be changing their name back to Redskins.
Commanders. I'm sorry.
Okay. So it's the Commanders.
I think the Washington was more of a meme, Alice, during the time. People just said, just change it to Washington Washingtons.
No, I'm sorry, no. It was South Park. I think.
Oh, was it South Park? Because I remember that, Cartman and his company got the Redskins because it wasn't copyrighted.
The Redskins.
Yeah.
But I think they also just called them the Washingtons briefly, but nobody liked it. I could have sworn, but maybe that's like a Mandela effect that's happening in my brain.
I don't know. Anyway, 2021 as well, a rare original copy of the U.S. Constitution was sold to Ken Griffin, head of the hedge fund Citadel, for for $43.2 million. World record price for a book, historical document, or manuscript. Wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's one of the original Constitution copies. Because I know they printed off a few of the original, like they wrote a few of them just so that people had their own copies for the people that sign and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's amazing when you can still find some of those documents around.
And why don't you take this last article, because you have your thumb on the pulse a lot more than I do involving all this stuff here.
Oh yeah.
And it's from your home state too.
You couldn't resist.
I had to. You know, she was keeping it alive, so no. I was letting it rest, and she wanted to keep it alive, so fine. So here you go.
What you're saying is you tried to bury it.
Yeah, but
she dug it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, blame it on the girl.
Of course.
No, actually, no, but no, this is the one time, like, as much as we have rivalry between Minnesota and Wisconsin, like, Wisconsin, we still have much respect for him. Even though he's actually from Illinois, so he's kind of something else there.
That's kind of Illinois.
In 2021, the U.S. jury clears Kyle Rittenhouse, 18 years old at the time, of murder for fatally shooting 2 people and injuring a third during a racial justice protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yep.
They tried to hang that guy.
Yeah, they did.
When it was really, it looked to me anyways, like self-defense.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that, like, the jury, like, made their verdict because, like, if you actually watched any of the court, like, I watched the entire court hearings. I, like, start to finish, I watched them, and what I did miss, I would go back and watch.
Oh, okay.
So I paid close attention to this trial, and oh my god, the prosecution did such a terrible job. And the fact that the prosecutor, the head prosecutor, pointed the gun at him with the finger on the trigger, even though it wasn't loaded, to the jury, that just tells you something about the prosecution.
Yeah.
You never point a firearm at anybody, even if you know it's loaded. Assume it's loaded. You never point the business in at anything that you don't wish to shoot. Period.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, but he did that. He did the pointing thing, and he pointed it towards the jury. It was insane. Like, it was one of the craziest, but it was like a Banana Republic type, like, trial.
Yikes.
Like, there was so much evidence going for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Let's not get too deep into this. Let's wrap us up here.
Yeah, well, this is my personal opinion, not a professional,
try to keep opinions light on the show. Like, you know, the peanut will be our opinion show, on Rumble at least. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, either way, like, it's just a crazy trial that happened.
Yeah. Anyway, this will conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar, the description below for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We are also on Rumble and BitChute and on Odyssey, but for now that's only for the peanuts. Links to those, as well as all of our social medias and more, are down on our link tree. For your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream currently Friday through Tuesday, although I might be doing that, getting back into doing that every day, we'll see. But we stream it on, right now, Friday through Tuesday at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central,
2 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I am the lovely Alice of Who.
Golden Loon.
And you're you. And until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in, like a major announcement and all that stuff, or us talking about dreams or whatever, like the Kicking the Peanut is coming up. Are we doing it at 3 or 4 my time? 6 or 7 you?
We're doing 7 o'clock Eastern time. Because I have to work till 6.
Yeah. So. Okay, so 7 o'clock Eastern. So that's 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern.
Yep.
So yeah. So until you see us then, whenever that is, wherever that is, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Be cool, stay in school, and don't do drugs, children.
Yes, stop streaming. Where's the other thing? How do I... Oh, there it is. In stream. There we go.